She boarded the aircraft like any other passenger. Quiet, barely noticed, her dark hair pulled back into a simple ponytail, her eyes cast low beneath the weight of a nondescript cap. The airport buzzed with the usual chaos, families yelling over luggage, flight attendants calling boarding groups, children clinging to snacks, and stuffed animals, but she moved through the noise like a shadow. No one looked twice. What city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. But they would. In just a few hours, every pilot in the sky would know her name. And 2 F-16 fighter pilots would call her something that would change everything. Eagle One. Her name was Lena Harper. To everyone else on that flight, she was just another passenger, quiet, polite, never drawing attention. She carried only one small bag and a stainless steel water bottle. No fancy electronics. No tablets. No business class upgrades. Just a plane ticket and an aisle seat in row 18. Yet there was something different about her. Something off. The way she watched the cabin, not nervously, not fearfully, but alert, almost like she was running a silent checklist. You would have never guessed she was trained to command entire air fleets. She settled into her seat without so much as a sigh. The overhead bin clicked softly above her. People shuffled past, bumping elbows and muttering apologies. A businessman in an expensive jacket huffed when his bag didn't fit. A mother wrangled a toddler. Someone sneezed 4 rows back. Lena didn't react. She closed her eyes and waited. There was a time when her arrival in a room would bring salutes. When her very presence made senior officers stand. When her decisions affected the course of nations. But that was then. This was now. And Lena wasn't that person anymore. Or so she thought. It started subtly. The flight attendant passed her row, paused, and looked at her twice. Not in recognition, but in careful curiosity. Lena's posture was perfect. Her breathing regulated. Her gaze forward, calm, as though she were awaiting instructions. She said nothing, ordered nothing, just waited. The plane began to taxi. The cabin dimmed. Engines roared. Most passengers sank into headphones and neck pillows. Lena Harper placed a hand lightly over her chest, feeling for something beneath her shirt. Just a small silver pendant. The insignia of her former unit. No rank, no name. Just a symbol. A wingspan over a rising sun. Eagle Division, they had called it. But that unit never existed officially. It didn't appear in any public records, not even confidential military logs. It was whispered, rumored, maybe even considered a myth. Until today. Half an hour into the flight, turbulence began. Nothing unusual at first, just a light shake. A toddler laughed. A cup rattled. But then the plane lurched harder. People gasped. Someone yelled to fasten seat belts. It was still manageable. Still normal. Then the first alarm went off. A siren on the flight deck, muffled by the door. The turbulence stopped being random. It became constant, decisive, severe. The lighting flickered. Lena opened her eyes. Something was wrong. Not with the plane, but outside it. She unbuckled her belt. The businessman beside her shot her a look. "Hey, you're supposed to stay seated." She stood. "Ma'am," a flight attendant began gently, trying to gesture her down. "Please stay." But Lena was gone. She had moved in silence, fluid as water, down the aisle, straight toward the cockpit. Without a word, she pulled a key from behind her pendant. It was small, metallic, and had no business existing. But it matched the reinforced lock of the cockpit door. The pilots inside shouted. She ignored it, inserted the key, and turned. The door slid open. A flood of lights and alarms hit her. The co-pilot stared at her wide-eyed, pale. What happened?" She cut in. The pilot pointed through the windshield, handshaking. Out in the sky, there were 2 jets shadowing the plane. F-16s. Weapons hot. There comes crackle with static. They're not answering us anymore, the first pilot said. Something's jamming the signal. We can't reach ground control. Lena stepped forward. The jets dipped low in formation, flanking the commercial plane in their targeting envelope. Then the radio system crackled. A voice came through. Aggressive, strained. Unknown aircraft, identify yourself. You are entering restricted airspace. You will divert or be engaged. God, the co-pilot whispered, we're in the wrong corridor. No, Lena said softly. It's not a corridor. It's a trap. She took the headset slowly, without waiting for permission. She knew that voice. She knew how it was trained to sound that way. This wasn't a mistake. This was an extraction, but the wrong target. She pressed the COM switch. This is civilian aircraft 7-0-9er. Silence. Then, who is this? Identify yourself. Lena inhaled. This is Harper, she said. The radio crackled violently. The lead F-16 broke formation. Then the voice returned. But this time it wasn't demanding. It was trembling. Eagle 1? The pilot beside her stared. The co-pilot blinked. The voice repeated, clearer this time. Eagle 1. Is that you? Lena let her gaze fall through the glass toward the first jet. It tilted slightly in response. Its pilot was looking at her, waiting. Yes, she said. This is Eagle 1. Stand down. Target is not on board. The second jet peeled away instantly, banking hard, disengaging from immediate attack vector. The cockpit fell silent. Lena stepped back. Her voice never rose. They were never after us, she told the pilots. They were looking for whoever booked this flight. Someone tried to hide using our route. And you, the pilot began, you outranked them? Lena looked down at her hands. Not anymore. But they don't know that. The pilot swallowed. What should I do? Continue on course, she said. Make no deviations. Do not respond or acknowledge anything further unless instructed. And you? Lena walked to the door, pausing. I'll keep them distracted. She slipped back into the cabin. The pilots watched her leave, the radio silent, the jets hovering defensively in escort position now, not as attackers, but guardians. She returned to her seat without a word. Passengers were murmuring. Some had noticed, but most had no idea they were seconds from being shot down. Lena closed her eyes once more. She had hoped she'd left that life behind. Hoped that command, responsibility, rank, all of it was someone else's burden now. But the sky never forgot her. The call sign rang in her ears. Eagle 1. She hated it. But she knew its power. Just a handful of syllables could shift an international incident. A name could move jets and turn missiles cold. Hours later, when the plane landed without a scratch, news crews were waiting. But no one knew what happened. No one saw jets in the sky. No civilian radar picked them up. The flight logs showed nothing unusual. But one passenger disappeared from the terminal within minutes of landing. Lena Harper slipped into a black car waiting beyond security. The man inside didn't greet her. He didn't smile. He said one name. Vanguard. She looked at him. Eyes cold, tired. Not anymore. We need you back, the man continued. The council has convened. There's chatter of a new faction. They're mobilizing. Lena stared out the window, watching the runway fade behind her. I'm done, she said. Find someone else. You know they won't. He slid a tablet across the console. It showed a picture, not of her, but of someone younger, someone frightened. Her sister, Jane Harper, missing. Lena froze. Her heart went quiet. When? She whispered. 3 days ago. The man's eyes lowered. We think they took her to lure you back. She exhaled slowly. That life she tried to escape was calling her again. There was no peace in it, only burden. But there was her sister. The car engine rumbled. The city lights rolled by outside. Lena Harper opened her eyes. That tired flame behind them reignited. Find them? Take down everyone who stood between her and Jane. She opened the door. I'll do it, she said quietly. Then she added, almost under her breath, but I choose the mission name. The man nodded. What is it? Lena stepped into the night. Eagle One walked again. Operation Freedom Wing. She was no longer just a passenger. She was once again the most feared pilot in the skies. And this time, she wasn't coming back until she brought her sister home. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.